Well, for those of you who might remain, my name is Keith Doster. I've been given an opportunity to speak a second time about the ministry that we have in Mexico. I'd like for you to imagine just for a moment that you have no vocabulary. Suppose for a moment that there are no words that you have in your mind to use. Suppose that you have no ability to speak to another person. Suppose you have lived for years, maybe even decades, and you've never even had a conversation with another person. There are actually people like that in the world. You would think that that would be a terrible thing, but I'm talking about people who are deaf, and particularly people who have been born deaf and have never learned language. They have no language. We met a young man several months ago who was in exactly that condition. A young boy by the name of Carol. He was discovered in Leon, Mexico, by our team there. If what we were told is accurate, and we believe it is, his father abandoned the family. His mother committed suicide, and this boy's deafness was part of that tragedy, part of the cause of that tragedy. Carol lives with his grandmother, who is in a wheelchair, in a house, if you want to call it a house. It's just a couple of rooms that's so small that Carol doesn't even have his own bedroom. By the providence of God, Carol was brought to our school for the deaf in Leon. His grandmother somehow, from her wheelchair, transported him there to the school. He would not have known how to get there on his own. And so with this monumental effort on her part, she brings her grandson to the school in the hopes that they can help him. Carol is considered by some to be mentally, for lack of a better term, retarded. Oftentimes the deaf are. He arrives at school and his teachers begin interacting with him, and they find out that not only is Carol not mentally retarded, he's very smart. He's just never had an opportunity to communicate with anyone in a way that he can understand. Now he's in a place where he has friends, where he's learning his own language, which is Mexican Sign Language. And our school is playing a large part of transforming, literally transforming this 15-year-old boy's life. Now he's able to communicate. Now he's able to talk with other people, people like himself. Now he has friends. Now he's been delivered from a form of serious oppression because of the way in which Roman Catholic culture thinks about deafness. There was another young boy, not Carol, there was another young boy that was discovered by our team. Our headmaster went to the home of this family that he was told there was a deaf boy in the home. And he asked the father, do you have a deaf child? And the father said, no, I don't have a deaf child. Later, he went back a second time. We have been told that you have a deaf child in your home, and the man denied it. And finally, on the third trip, we know that you have a deaf child. We would like to take him to our school so that he can learn sign language, so that we can introduce him to the world. And finally, the father said, yes, I do. I do have a deaf son. And he was delivered from that kind of oppression. And our goal is to give these children and children like them the opportunity to learn to communicate so that we can communicate with them the gospel of the Lord Jesus. That's one part of the work of Grace Deaf Missions. The other part of our work, our ministry, is evangelistic work, reaching out to the deaf in the communities where they live. We have a team in place, and I just heard just 2 days ago when our team was working that there were 2 deaf people who were presented with the gospel, and they repented and believed on the Lord Jesus. This is the kind of thing that we do because, for all practical purposes, the deaf have been systematically neglected by the church for centuries. The work is huge. In fact, it's so huge, mission specialists believe that the deaf are the largest unreached people group in the world. And we have precious few people who are willing to go and do the work of presenting the gospel to the deaf in a way that they can understand it by means of sign language. Grace Deaf Missions' purpose is to enable those who are working in Mexico to do that work, to teach these children, to reach these deaf people in their communities, in their own homes, so that the Lord Jesus might be explained, the work of the cross might be explained to them in a way that they can understand it and be saved. And the Lord has blessed our work. We ask that you join us in this work. It is huge. I told someone yesterday, I said, if I had $1 million to spend right now, I could spend it all before the day is out. There's plenty to do. But we need partners in this work that will partner with us for the long haul, because this is an incredibly slow process. One of our goals is to plant indigenous deaf churches in Mexico. That requires theological training. That requires a lot of hard work explaining spiritual principles in ways that are difficult for deaf people to understand initially. And so we're looking for partners that can come alongside us and support us in this work. So if you're interested in that work, please contact me. My name is Keith Doster. I can be reached, here's my phone number, 814, I can't believe I'm doing this on the internet, 814-880-3874. You can call me, you can text me, or you can go to our website at gracedeafmissions.org and get information there on what we do and how you can support us. So thank you for this opportunity to share this with you. The Lord bless you. Oh, one more thing. One other way you can reach us is you can send us an email, and we will put you on our newsletter list. gracetothedeaf@gmail.com. Grace to the deaf. 2 is spelled out as not the number 2. It's T-O. gracetothedeaf@gmail.com. Thank you so much.